this is wonky. I got a new tripod.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Oh, all right.
You say something?
Yeah. Do you want me to talk?
Yeah,
Keep
it doesn't
talking,
look like it's picking
testing.
it up.
Oh, weird. Because normally you get a signal?
Yeah.
There's only one person on too. Are we on Facebook or on YouTube?
We're on YouTube.
Okay. It's got a blue light here.
Yeah. I just don't know why it's not showing up there.
Normally it does.
Well, the green seems to go up and down.
Oh, okay. We could switch for the other mic if you want. Well, we're about to start. Let's hope that people can hear us. There's 2 people online. Text me if you have my number. Well, they're not going to be able to text me if they can't hear me because then they can't hear me.
Yeah.
Text me if you do hear me and then we'll stop worrying about it.
That's right.
All right. So we're game 1 of the first of 2 games in a doubleheader weekend against Quad County here in the Antigonish Arena on a Saturday afternoon, last Saturday before Christmas. Who's got stuff to do? Nobody. All right. So that's Molly with the puck in center, bringing in the offensive zone. There's Grace, number 3, Grace Berrigan, our call up for the day because Sawyer Malloy's away. She comes from the U13 AAA team. And Brooklyn as our other winger, as we see Sophie and Andréanne on D. Sophie taking it up into the neutral zone where they're changing, but we have Ryan going to go chase for deep. They called that. That's interesting because Quad was there, but... As we go into our end, we see Isla Parrott, who's taking the face off. Ryan and Gwyneth with Isla Parrott, I said. Yep, Paige Devaney and Noelle on defense. Bailey Nash in net. Oh, I see some blue stuff there. I don't know what that means. Oh well. It's what it is. It's either working or it's not.
I'm not so sure.
Okay.
Start it over after the first.
Okay. We'll see.
It's definitely recording. Maybe it's streaming.
Yeah,
I
so
just
they'll
don't
get
know
the
if
video,
sound-
but hard to say if the audio's on. The video's the most important.
Yeah. You might be talking to another.
Yep, I might be. Oh, they're complaining because that's the second icing that should have been waved off. Yeah. All right. Quad wins that face-off as Ryan's at the circle. Isla Parrott with it at the boards. Goes out to the middle, and Ryan taps it into the neutral zone. Quad County picking it up. She puts some pressure on it, and there's a battle at the red bar. Isla tapped it up to Ryan, but Quad driving it in deep so they could go for a change as Noelle gets it behind the net. Noelle tapping it up. Hits Quad in the neutral zone. Ryan putting some pressure on. Isla supporting. Goes back to Paige, taps it over to Noelle. She sees some pressure with Quad, looking for a move. She turns, creates some space. D to D up to Isla. Isla driving it in deep, and she's going for a change. Because we have Kaylee and Natalie out, M joining her up on forward. Isla Eddy coming out with Kira Carver. Ironically, they did not call icing in their direction. Here we are. All right, Eddie trying to get in the neutral zone. Natalie takes it out to the other side to create some space where Kira's going to bring it in. She taps it forward, gets past their D. Kaylee putting pressure. So they tap it back where Natalie's hoping to pick it up, but it gets put back to the point where Kira takes a shot, goes wide into the other corner. And there with the battle at the boards. Natalie into support. And now Isla Eddy with support. She has it in at the corner. She's trying to drive it out front. Kaylee picks it up. Kaylee taps it back where Isla's going to take it behind the net for Natalie to bring it. She brings it out front. Em's going to have it. She creates some space for herself by taking it over to Kira. She takes a shot. That hit Kaylee. Em was trying to take a shot, sees some traffic in front of the net, and it gets pushed into the neutral zone. Quad there with a straight shot at Bailey, who gets the save on that. And they're poking at Bailey with it under her glove, but... All right. Is that Brooklyn? That's Brooklyn. She's going to drive it in deep as the rest of her line joins her, as we have Grace and Molly joining her. Andre Ann on D. And Sophie. Grace putting it out front. Lovely placement. Brooklyn taking the turn. Seeing some traffic, so it gets intercepted there by Quad. They take it in behind the net. And Quad's going for a skate through the neutral zone. Grace is going to come put some pressure on the back check, so they have to offload it deep. And picked up by RD, that would be Andre Ann. She passes it to Sophie. She's going to the other side as Quad's creating some pressure. And to the other side, so now she's going to move it to Andre Ann, who has a little more space. Pulls it up to Grace. Gets tapped back again. A little bit of traffic there in the corner, hard to see, but it gets freed up behind the net, gets rimmed around. Quad's going to keep that in. They tried to take a shot, Molly blocked it. Andre Ann up to Brooklyn on the other side. She chips it behind one Quad, but the Quad at the point's going to keep that in our end. Sophie there getting it up to Grace, who hits a breakout into the neutral zone. She goes for a change. Brooklyn creating some pressure and taps it into their end, but on D stick. As Quad gets it on to Sophie, and they go for a change at their bench. Sophie's going to pass it up to Isla. Picked up by Quad. They drive it back. Oh, a little bit of interference there, but... Battle at the boards there. We have Gwyneth, with Ryan, trying to battle it out. Gwyneth gets it free. She's got Quad on her side, so in comes Isla to support. She taps it back to Gwyneth, trying to drive it out front, but they're all tied up in the corner, so Quad comes out for a skate. Noelle had a good stick on that, gets dropped back to the other player. No shot. Noelle giving chase into the corner. Quad taps it forward. Verdi steps in and keeps it in, takes a shot. Rebound was there, but Metro West with it first on their stick. Noelle takes it into the neutral zone. She's going for a skate as our forwards go for a change. We have Natalie, Kaylee, and Em coming out with Kira and Isla Eddy on D. Em's going to go for a skate, trying to beat that. She beat the puck out. Almost got it forward, got bounced off someone's stick. Isla with a good battle there. Going for the puck. And now Natalie's trying to bring it into the neutral zone. As Quad drives it in deep behind our net. Kira to pick it up. She's got some pressure on her, so she gives it over to, rimming it around up to M. Goes open ice. Kira gets to it first. She taps it to Natalie, who's going to tap it over to Kaylee, who's going to go for a skate. That's Natalie going up with her, and M not far behind, ready for supporting that puck. Quad with their breakout now. Andre Ann keeping it in the neutral zone. Natalie skates it in. She has some pressure, takes a shot into the glove, dropped and covered. I wonder if anyone can, I don't know who's on, I can't tell. It's not like Facebook where you just click the button, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, Sophie keeping that in as Molly gets chased up into the boards there. Sophie again, making that turn over to the other side. That's Andre Ann on our side with Grace holding it steady. Brooklyn has it in front of her. Tapped in solidly by Molly, and it goes to the other side. Brooklyn's going for it, and Grace. She leaves it for Grace, and she's going to stay back to support Molly with it there in front of her. Taps it back to Brooklyn. She's got to create some room for herself. She taps it back to her D. And D takes a shot, and it's stopped. Jen?
Adam, can you join the YouTube feed?
Do you think anyone at your house is watching? Like, are any of your parents watching? Just to see if the audio is working. We can't tell. If they're not, then don't worry about it. But if you could get a yes or a no on the audio. All right, that's Ryan picking it up in front of our net. Quad has it, but blocked again by Ryan, so the shot never came. Quad's D with it and poked out by Gwyneth. Nice move into the open ice there. Ryan going to keep pressure on that. And Quad takes it into the other side.
It is. It's on YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube, yeah. Oh, Quad's going to take a shot.
Text me,
goes
text
wide.
Me, let me know if you hear the sound.
Battle behind her net, gets taken out front. Quad's there, takes a shot. Bailey with the pad save and then a poke out to the side for Isla to take that. She takes it up into the neutral zone where she saw Gwyneth. Quad County takes it first. They're on a change. That's too many men. I didn't know the rink was going to go quiet then. And I don't know if anyone at home can hear me, but that would be a too many men penalty, folks. If you didn't hear me, everyone in the rink did. They'd be complaining? Okay. I didn't mean that in a negative way. Yeah. All right, so as Metro West Force
Yes,
goes
there's
on,
sound.
there's sound. Okay, good. I'm not doing this for nothing. Good. Not that it matters. It's just what's that? Oh, they may not be able to watch. Okay, so we have Metro West Force on our first power play. We're still scoreless in the game. Natalie, M, and there she is, Kaylee. I was like, Kaylee must be out, but I didn't see her. She was up on the blue line. Nicely done. With Kira and Isla Eddy on D. That has M trying to find space for herself, setting something up here on the power play. Quads in their box formation. So they're keeping us to the outside. That's a beautiful shot from the D. A nice little shot. Saved by the goalie. And we're going to have a face-off to the goalie's right. We're going for another line change here as Molly's line comes out. That's Brooklyn and Grace Berrigan. For those just joining us, Grace Berrigan, number 3, is a call-up from U13 AAA as she's filling in for Sawyer Malloy, who's away. Isla, Eddy, and Carl and Kira stayed out on D. Isla took a shot. Quads there for the rebound. And jumped it off the glass, but Kira keeping it in. Kira keeping it in once again. Settling that puck, going to drive it in right into the lap of the goalie, who's not going to let that one go as Grace was there for the rebound. That did not happen. 49 seconds left in the penalty. I should say in our power play. As Molly faces off again. Grace there to scoop it out, gets tossed to the side where Molly's going to take it back to Kira. As Quad gets in their box formation, we're trying to penetrate that. Nice try, Isla, going into it there. And Quad ices it. .29 seconds left. Nice bank shot up to Grace. She's going for a skate. She takes it in deep, but Quad's going to get it. Hopefully they can't ice it because that'll kill a lot of our penalty. But no, we got some traffic to stop that. Brooklyn took a shot, hit the back of the net, unfortunately, not the front. Sophie has it over to, I think it's still Isla out there. Yeah. That's Isla with a good battle at the board. She takes it over to Isla Parrott. Gets it back to Sophie on point, driving it in. Rebound was there. Brooklyn's going for that. We're now even with 3:43 left in the first period. Sophie taking it in deep. She's going to go chase it because she had her wheels on. Ryan's going to go help support. And that's Ryan and Gwyneth behind the net. Gwyneth coming out with it, looking for the move. She gets a little wide, but Noelle's going to get control of that puck in our end. As Quad also went for a change. She gets it right onto Ryan's stick, who taps it over to Isla. Comes back out, so Noelle taps it over to Andrea-Ann. And Ryan skates it into the zone. She sends it to the other corner for Isla Parrott to pick up. She drops it back to the point. And there's a hook on Quad, so another power play coming our way. And our team was just going for a change, so we have fresh legs out with Natalie and Kaylee and M. And Paige Devani is going to stay out with Noelle Peck. Okay, Quad winning that. Face off, it goes straight to their goalie who covers it up, and we're going to see another face off. Natalie winning that face off, taps it back to M, who taps it back to Paige. She's looking for the play. She makes it up to M. She banks it back to Paige, who sends it over to Noelle. Back to Paige. See if they can penetrate this box. Noelle falls. Quad's going to take advantage of that, but not before she tips it up. But the other Quad member sends it down into our end. They go for a change. Our girls are staying on. some of them are changing, as I see Ryan up there in the neutral zone, ready to take it and skate it in. She's seeing some traffic, though. She sends it up to Kaylee, just misses the one-timer. It's a great play. Isla with a little bit of pressure, so she's going the other way with it. 1 minute left in this power play. Gwyneth calling for it in the neutral zone. She sends it up to Ryan, who's again going to skate it in, feeling the pressure. Sends it back to Isla. Isla sees some room over by Kira and Gwyneth. Gwyneth picking that one up and sending it back to Kira. Kira driving it in. Goalie dropped it. Molly was there for it. Quad didn't like the poke, but it was on the ground. It was hers to poke. 1:34 left in the period. 42 seconds left in the power play. That's Ryan at the circle there, taking the face off. She wins it. Gwyneth picking it up, tapping it back to Kira. She stepped in on another shot. Goalie was ready for that. Caught that in her glove. I feel like Ryan would have won that face-off if the inbounds off the ref's leg, but Quad got a hold of it and sent it down for icing. Isla taking control behind the net, looking for the move as she gets it up to Gwyneth on the red line. Gets out to Quad. They're going for a skate with 7 seconds left in the penalty kill. Their shot goes wide. That's Grace picking it up. She left it behind, so Sophie going to capture that. She's still skating. Now she's got to come off, so she's not offside. Very close. It was clear. The Quad with it anyway, coming across into our zone. They drive it in deep. 32 seconds left. Andre Ann feeling a little pressure, trying to drop it back. Quad trying to take a shot, blocked by our players and sent to the side before it could hit Bailey. That one did get to Bailey. An attempt to block by Sophie got through, and Bailey could see it and stopped it. And we're going to have a face-off with 14 seconds left in the period. Natalie, Kaylee, and Em coming out. Sophie and Andre Ann staying on. Face-off to Bailey's right and our end. Battle at the boards here. It's going to go clear with them taking it for a skate in the neutral zone. She drives it in deep. It's going to be hard to score, but at least it's not in our end for the end of that period. So we are scoreless after one. Natalie at the face-off with Kaylee to her left, Em to her right. That's Noelle on left, D. Paige on right, D. Quad bringing it in. Around our net. Em's going to pick it up. Out to the middle of the ice. Natalie taps it up to Em, who's going to bring it out, chipping it around to the Quad player and going for a skate. She passes over to Kaylee just beyond her stick. It's the right idea. Natalie poking it deeper as she goes low behind the net, trying to chase that puck. But Quad with the D-to-D pass and still has control of that possession. We're going to see our forwards come off for a change as Natalie comes out for Ryan. Ryan picking it up in the neutral zone, buying herself some time as they tried to get onside. And Quad keeping on to that. Shot blocked by Isla. And Kira now picking it up in the corner as she intercepted that play from the Quad players. Gets tapped into neutral zone, where Quad's going to take it in deep onto Isla Eddy's stick. She tried to send it over to Gwyneth, intercepted by Quad, who tried to make the play, but Bailey's going to stop that. Molly, Grace, and Brooklyn coming out. Along with Sophie and Andreanne on for D. That's Molly skating it behind the net, up over to Grace. She's going to see a Quad player there. And Quad with a solid shot, and Bailey with a beautiful glove save. Natalie, Kaylee, and M coming out with Noelle and Paige on D, and Bailey to their left. Natalie winning that back to Paige. Quad coming in for a challenge at the boards, gets taken out onto M. She tried to chip it up. She still has it on her stick. Quad took it from her. And she blocked the shot from the D. But Quad able to bring it in deep behind our net. Natalie trying to tap it off her stick as Natalie and Paige creating a little bit of pressure there. It gets sent over to the other side where Noelle's going to see it in the corner. Up to Kaylee on the wing. And back to Noelle. Noelle out in the middle toward M where there's some space, and M's able to skate it in the neutral zone, pass it up to Natalie. Natalie leaves it behind for Quad to pick up. They skated into the neutral zone and the other way. She's going to put some pressure. And Isla Eddy's going to ensure that it stays on our stick now. Isla paired up to Gwyneth LeBlanc. She skates it in. Gets dropped behind where Isla tried to take it up, but Quad got their stick on it first. Isla driving it in deep to the Quad defense while we tried to get onside. Kira doing the same thing, wrapping it around. We got onside, and Ryan and Isla pair it on both sides with the pressure behind the net. Ryan with the wraparound, tag up to Isla Parrott, but their goalie got in position in time to stop that puck. Some good chances.
Yeah, lots of chances.
All right, Ryan taking the face off. Quad winning that one. They do a DD pass. Gets up to their forward, but Isla putting lots of pressure on that, so they're stuck sending it back the other way, where Ryan's got it on her stick now. She sent it over to Isla, took a shot, goes above the net. Gwyneth and Ryan up there putting pressure as Isla waits up front, hoping for the pass. Quad, though, takes possession and brings it into the neutral zone. They drive it in deep, where Isla's going to go for a skate with their player. And Ryan's got to come in to support as they have two Quad on Isla there. It's between Ryan's legs. She doesn't want to free it up for Quad, but the other Quad player actually came out with it. And Kira tapping it up to Gwyneth. And she chips it into the Quad zone. They make a move in the neutral zone. Molly's putting pressure on her, not allowing that move. So they're forced to take it in low behind our net, where Andreanne's going to scoop it up. Passing it over. where they get a shot from the point, and Bailey going to stop it for a whistle. And we'll see a face-off to her right with who's going to come out. So it's still Molly with Grace and Brooklyn, and Sophie and Andrea. All right, tap forward for Grace by Grace as she keeps that pressure on. Sophie tapping it over to Andrea, gets it up into the neutral zone. Molly driving it into their zone, so they have to move it, which they're doing, but hard on the back check there. We got some puck having to go loose for Sophie, who's under a little bit of pressure, so she's got a battle at the boards with Molly there, and now Grace. And freed up to their point, who's going to drive it in. Gets blocked by one of us. That's Andrea Ann trying to get it on her stick. She gets it up to Grace. Quad taking behind the net again the other way. Sophie with it. She gets it in some open ice. Quad stepping in quickly as they were on a change and kept it in. Grace chipping it up. Their D is not going to let that go by the blue line. So we have a little bit of a battle in the middle of the ice. Our girls are not letting Quad get that shot off though, which is good, although got to get it out of this end. Quad keeping it in deep. Over on the other wall, Sophie blocks the shot, doesn't get to her Bailey. And then goes into open ice, but that'll be an icing call. But at least our girls can get some fresh legs. So we're going to see a complete line change with Paige and Noelle on D, with Kaylee, Natalie, and M on forward. So we have Natalie take the face off. Looks like 10 is beaten, so that'd be Jessie beaten from Fort Hood. Take the face off with Natalie. Jessie winning that to Quad, they rim it around. Well, putting that pressure on behind our net. Natalie coming in to support. Gets freed up for M. She gets it out for Kaylee to get skated into the neutral zone. Kaylee driving it in to shot on net, and because she was able to follow it up, goalie was forced to cover it up. And we'll see a face-off in the offensive zone. Quad's going for a change. All right, Quad's coming out with that in the neutral zone. Kaylee with it on her stick. She chips it forward. Well to Paige, up to Natalie. Quad poking it away. Well, chipping it back into the neutral zone for Kaylee. She's going to drive it in deep. Blocked by Quad, so we don't have as much time to make that change as we were hoping, as all 5 of our girls made a change. Kira and Isla to come out on D, along with Ryan, Gwyneth, and Isla on forward. They take a shot. Nice little shoulder arm deflection there by Bailey, keeps it out of the net. Kira taking behind the net with some pressure. She doesn't have much room, so she's going to pivot over. Passed up to Gwyneth, over to Ryan, missed her stick onto Quads. It's chipped into the neutral zone. So Kira's going to go for a skate here. Ryan to her right. She took a shot between the legs, and can Ryan get the rebound? Not before Quad was able to deflect it off to the side. Isla trying to keep that in deep, and she did. It goes out to the middle of the ice. Fewer players, though, as we go for a change. But Gwyneth able to keep it in. She takes it to the corner, waiting for some help. Chips it up to Andrea Ann, and it was offside. She knew it, but she didn't hear the call, so she took a chance, and then they called it. All right, quad bringing it into our end. They had a nice organized setup there as they had a nice solid shot for Bailey to save. Andre Ann keeping that off of quad stick. She taps it over to Molly, gets it free to Grace. She chips it around, gets by the quad player for their other D to skate free and wide. Sophie taking it, feeling that pressure, she goes behind the net. Molly able to help support that. Passed up to Brooklyn, again beyond the stick, so quad keeping it in their end, so it gets tapped into neutral zone. And bringing it into the O zone, but it gets tapped back as Noelle takes it over to Isla, where, that's not Isla, that's Paige, where she found more space. Gets up and again beyond the quad blue line. So they pick it up in the neutral zone, drive it in deep. Where Noelle's trying to free it up at the boards. Got it up to Kaylee, who gets into the neutral zone. Quad has control of this puck though as they take it in deep. They're gonna wave that off because Paige could have got that. So they rim it around to Kaylee. Tips it into the neutral zone. Kaylee's going to keep the pressure on, but quad coming out with it. And Noelle taps it into the bench, so we'll see a face-off. Ryan facing off against Jesse. Gwyneth tapping it up to Isla. Isla's going to skate it in the end. She gets it around to D. Can she get a shot off? She couldn't find room, so she tapped it back to Ryan. Gets it up to Kira. Kira was going to send a slap shot forward. Goes wide. Gets rimmed around to Isla. Isla just couldn't keep it in, but that's okay. She gets it over to Kira, who's going to skate it in. She again slips it between the legs of their D. And the goalie's able to see it. Saving it. Quad coming out with it. Picked up by Kira yet again, going for skate. She passes it over to Isla Parrott, who's got more space. She takes a shot, goes wide, but it's also maybe not a shot because she had to go in deep just to get some relief from the bench as we have a new line out now with Andre Ann and Isla Eddy. Brooklyn, Grace, and Molly. Andre Ann up to Grace. Grace chipping it around. They're going to wave off icing because it won't quite get to the red line, there, the goal line. Quad's got her wheels on. Oh, that's Bria Tavares. She takes a shot, and Bailey saves it. Natalie facing off Dykers. Picked up a quad. But with pressure from Natalie, is she able to clear it into the neutral? Not without a battle first. It stays in our end, goes deeper, unfortunately. Andre Ann's there, though, to take it to the other side where M's going to wait. Rims up to the blue line. Blocked there by M. Stayed on her stick. She tapped it forward. Over to the other side where Kaylee was waiting. They both kind of leave it behind. And gets driven into our end where Sophie's going to tap it up to M, onto quad stick, sent back. Andre Ann with it there. She's looking at Sophie. She sends it over. She's got pressure from the other quad player. Natalie comes in. Sophie with it. They both kind of leave the puck behind. Natalie's got it now behind the net. And Kaylee's skating it in the neutral zone. And I don't know what the call is. Maybe it went out of bounds. I didn't see. Likely, given that the face-off's right there. Ryan and Jesse facing off. As Quad won that one, and they're going to skate it into our zone. They take a shot. Bailey taps it out for Ryan to get. Not without the pressure, though, so we got 2-on-2 behind the net as the third one comes in. It's freed up for Isla Parrott now. I hear Gwyneth calling for it, but she couldn't free it up because Quad's all over these girls today. Shot there, pad save off to the side as Paige has to pressure in behind the boards. Gets freed up in front. Gwyneth was waiting for that. She's going for a skate. And they were offside, maybe? Probably offside. They're calling it intentional, so it'll go into our zone. Their zone. Oh, their side of the neutral zone. How about that?
Yes.
There we go. I try to anticipate. Doesn't always work out. I saw him point there, so I'm like, he didn't like what happened there, but not enough to put them all the way in. He'll put them all the way in if they yell and yell and yell and you just don't hear them. Oh, good save, Bailey. The crowd thought that was going to slip by because it was a nice solid shot, but she was on it. All right, 40 seconds left in the second period. This time off the stick, a Quad into our bench. So we'll see another face-off in the neutral zone. All right, 7 is Penny up against DeBay. DeBay winning it, but they didn't like something, so we'll have to do it again. They didn't like what Quad did. We won the face-off and it gets blown down. Darn it! Let's see. They don't like how they're inching forward toward that ref. Okay, Natalie won it again, but Quad's rushed forward with it pretty quickly. Gets out into the neutral zone and they're offside, so Kaylee's putting pressure on as they had to get onside, driving the puck further back. Isla picking it up. Isla Eddy going to skate it in. She's got Natalie and M there with support. She drives it in wide. Natalie tried to take a shot but got blocked. As Quad frees it up on the other side. Gwyneth creating a little pressure, keeping it in. And that's the end of the period. Again, scoreless after 2. We'll have 20 minutes to see if anyone can sink one between the pipes. was it? Did you do a
That was in a
one-on-one?
tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. 20 minutes on the clock on a scoreless game. Let's see who can bring it home in the third period. Ryan lining up against Kenny there. And we have Kira and Isla on for D. Isla Parrott with Gwyneth on her wings. Isla passes to Kira, sends it back. Gets banked up to Isla Parrott, sends it to open ice where Gwyneth tried to take it. Ryan taps it in the neutral zone. Quad sending it in deep for Kira to take. Anything you say is on YouTube. Oh, that was nothing. I'm just saying if you talk. I got a microphone. Do you want to talk?
Hi.
This is Taylor. All right. Andre Ann tapping it off quad stick. Gets it up to Natalie. Taps it up to M. She takes a shot around the player. Natalie with the rebound. Oh! And it was loose, and they couldn't quite get that second rebound. Third shot. That's a good pressure rate off in the first minute. We're at 18:59, facing off with Natalie against Jessie. Quad winning that one. They take it behind the net as Kaylee gives chase. She gets her stick on it up to Natalie behind the net. She gets it out front to M, but it didn't quite get there because the skate blocked it. Kaylee has it on her stick, sends it between the knees of a player. And the goalie stopped it. But we've had a couple shots there right off the top. That's good. Andre Ann sending it back to Sophie up to Natalie. Natalie gets it over to M. Her stick deflects it in deep, and she follows it into the corner. Natalie into support. Quad getting it first, but M taking it out and almost to Kaylee. Goes behind where Natalie is. She gets it on her stick, trying to chip it forward. Can she get it to her point? Nope, she sends it low for Grace to pick up. Nope, Quad intercepted first. So we have Molly and Grace out, and we're gonna see Brooklyn coming out. Noelle and Paige there. And as Bailey felt some pressure, she covered that one up. We're going to see Molly facing off against Jessie, who won it. Their shot goes wide, in behind the net. Sends it up front. Grace has it on her stick. She passed it over to Molly. No, that's Brooklyn. Whoops. They toss it into the corner, but Brooklyn picks it up behind the net, sends it up to Grace, chips it back. Grace trying to send it to the point. Can't really pinch in because if Quad won that, you don't want to be stuck. So she's playing responsibly. It does stay in our offensive zone, but Quad's going to take it out. It's driven into the corner, goes behind the net where Kira's going to take it. Up to Brooklyn. She has a bit of space. She sends it up to Grace. But Quad picking it up first as they go D to D. And Quad's having to force the shot straight at Bailey and makes that save in her lap. Sophie and Andre Ann coming out for D as we complete our line change with Ryan, Isla, and Gwyneth. Forward. Quad trying to get a shot off, but our sticks got in the way and the shot went wide out in front of the net. Battling at the boards here. Ryan chipped it behind the first Quad player, but their point picked it up and took a shot. Puck stayed live, so we got control of that as Ryan skates it out. She's got the pressure of the Quad player, so Isla coming in to support that. Quad coming into the neutral zone. They drive it in deep. Sophie picking it up. Gets a little tangled there, so Ryan supporting. Goes behind the net for Andre M. Tap it up to Sophie. She has the pressure at the board, so she finds some open ice. Gets it to Gwyneth, who's going to skate it into their end. She gets forced into the corner, sending it right in front of the net, which was nice. Quad there trying to clear it out, but Natalie holding it in. She sends it in deep, where Kaylee and Em are trying to come out with it. Gets sent to the middle. Noelle getting her stick on it, but Quad having maintained possession. Natalie then battling with it at the boards. Noelle chipping it in the neutral zone for Kaylee to pick up. We have a 2-on-2 situation with Kaylee and Natalie. Kaylee passed it to Natalie. She has it out at the corner. She gets pinned a little bit, so can Em come out with it? She has it, but still gets caught between their legs, so Natalie has it in behind the net. Em gonna scoop that up, sending it out to Kaylee, gets just past her out onto Quad. As they make a pass, so Paige can go in for that on the neutral zone for Em to take. She chips it forward for Natalie to give chase into the corner. As we had Em able to change with Grace. Natalie's gonna come off. And we'll see Molly come out. Now Kaylee's gonna come off and Brooklyn's gonna go out. As Grace is there, she's gonna take a shot, goes high. Rebounds there, Quad has it first, but Brooklyn's gonna have it. She taps it back to Isla, who sends it back to her. Molly's out front, there with the rebound, but goalie got in the way of that one too. So we'll see a face-off to goalie left in the offensive zone. Molly taking this face-off. Molly winning that. Gets tapped back to Isla, who sends it up to Grace. Trying to take it out to Molly. It was a good idea. Brooklyn in behind her, so she's able to keep it on her stick, but under tons of pressure. It gets back and forth with possession. Molly driving it in deep, but the defense are there. Molly giving it everything she can, falling along the way, but she gets up in time to put pressure on the other side of the net. Quad bringing it in. We have a 3-on-2. They take a shot. Oh. They tried to make a pass out front. Kira with the block. And Grace going for a skate. She had Quad on the back check, so lifted her stick up and lost the puck, but Isla picks it up in the neutral zone. She sends it up to Ryan. Can't get there before Quad does. They're calling a penalty on that, even though she played the puck, but you know, also body on body, a little hard from the boards. Girl fell down. She's going in the box. So we see Metro West Force on our first penalty kill as we have Andre in there with it in the back. And Sophie. Gwyneth and Isla are out. 2 minutes for, what is it? Boarding, they say. They're like, what is There we go. Good icing by Sophie's going to buy us a bit of time as that's 30 seconds down. Gwyneth's going to put pressure in behind their net. Puck gets left behind, but she still has it. She's just trying to kill some time. Well done. There's 15 seconds of it. Quad coming out with it. And now they ice it. So it should come back. They're waving that off, and they wouldn't wave off the other one. I can't figure you out, refs. She wasn't even near it. Anyway, whatever. Helen has to retape her stick there. She's got some floppy tape on that toe. All right. All right. We're going to line it up here as Quad comes in, trying to set something up with 37 seconds left. Goes to the point. They take a shot. Blocked by Kaylee. They take a second shot and goes behind the net. Nice glove save by Bailey with 25 seconds left in this penalty kill and 11:42 left in the game. Island Kira coming out for D. Em and Gwyneth coming out for forward. Gwyneth there again, trying to free it out of the end. She puts pressure on the defense at the blue line, but they did keep it in. They get a shot off, and what? Must be net off. Okay. We were just about to ice it, but that's okay. We got to get our net on the posts. 13 seconds. Just means another face-off on our end. I see Isla Parrott coming out, so she's going to grab somebody. Okay. So we have Isla and Gwyneth. Oh, I think they're trying to set up the line again so Ryan can just come out and play. Yeah, because we have 13 seconds left. Jessie winning that one back to her D. She makes a DD pass. Clock's ticking. They're trying to set it up. We have a nice box formation there. Nice pad save from Bailey. They're coming around the other side. 2 seconds left as she fumbles it behind the net. Now we have Ryan. Line set up well by the coaches so she can come straight out as Bailey gets a glove save, and we're going to set up on a face-off anyway. All right, after that 2-minute rest, Ryan's ready to come out at the dot and winning that face-off. Isla going to take that over to Kira, but it gets intercepted by Quad. So Gwyneth coming in to support. And Ryan going for a skate. She's got her wheels on. She's going to keep going. It gets tapped in deep. As Ryan and Isla Parrott are the two there digging at the boards. Quad comes out with it, so Gwyneth comes to put pressure on as it gets tapped past their blue line. Kira stepping in. She taps it up to Gwyneth, gets a shot, goes wide. Ryan's going for a change. So Grace coming on. So is Molly. Molly putting pressure on, forcing that DD pass. Nobody over on that board, so they send it off. Gets past Andre Ann. They're going to wave. Oh, they did not wave that off, thank God, because I'm like, it wasn't really close to Andre Ann, so. And now we'll see Brooklyn come out for the rest of that lineup as Sophie and Andre Ann are on D. And Bailey doing a good job with just 10 minutes to go on this still scoreless game. Sophie keeping it in, driving it in deep where she'll see Grace setting it up for Molly. Tried to take a shot, blocked by Quad. Quad picking it up at the boards. They have a little bit of room to go for escape, but Molly's hard trying to do on that back check. She has to offload it to Sophie. Tried to tap it up to Grace, but Kenny intercepted that. I hear a nice block there by Sophie. Frees it into the neutral zone. There's Tavares with the pass over to her partner. Gets sent up to Molly, chipping it forward again, intercepted by Quad. Seeing lots of turnovers here in the neutral zone. Nice pass over to 3.
Hit the post.
Hit the post. I saw Bailey move her skate over, so the gap wasn't there anyway. Nice pass up to Brooklyn. She's got her wheels on. Can she get some space here? She drives it in deep, wants to go for a change. Nice play because she had her 2D. They had their 2D and forward with pressure on there, so good opportunity to change. Comes in for Natalie, scoop up in the neutral zone. She wants to create space, giving it to her D. Paige, can she get up to M? Yep, nice bank pass. Gets sent out over to McClellan. She takes a shot. Bailey sees that. Deflects it off to the side. Noelle chipping it up to Kaylee. Kaylee's got some space. She taps it forward. can't get to it before it gets to the goalie, who's going to cover it up as both Em and Kaylee put pressure on that shot. Isla, Gwyneth, and Ryan coming out on forward. Paige and Noelle going to stay out. 8:26 left. Shot right off the face-off there. And now we're going to have the puck in at the boards again. This time Ryan coming out with it. Can she get another shot? This time Gwyneth picking up it. And Isla, send it! Send it! Oh! We had some chances on the rebound, but Ryan still has it on her stick. Quad having it there, but had some good chances. All right, gets freed up into the neutral zone for us to capture there from Quad. Gets sent in, that'll be icing, and it goes into our end.
Kevin, this is my jam.
She turns the camera around and dance.
I'm busy.
All right, Molly had that, gets it to Kira, who sends it over to Isla. Quad taking it behind our net, but instead they send it forward. Send that out. Grace with support there to Isla, but Isla's the one with it around her stick. She sends it out. Oh! Quad with some chances there, but blocked opportunities, and Brooklyn's going for a skate. She's looking. Grace is there. She gets forced into the corner by their D, so she sends it back to the point. Unfortunately, Molly blocked that shot unintentionally. Sent back to the neutral zone. Isla trying to set it up. She gets it to Grace. Grace thought she split the D, but they aren't going to do that. So they send it back into the neutral zone. Gets sent in low. Behind our net. Jessie and Natalie with a battle there. Frees it up for Isla to tap it up to Em. Em takes it into the neutral zone. Lots of sticks on it, but Quad still beating that. And Bailey with a nice save goes up out of play. So we'll see a face-off in our zone. 6:21 left, scoreless. No goals, but lots of action, lots of chances, and lots of time left. Quad with a shot going wide. They come out with it behind the net. They chip it up to their point. Who's going to do a nice shot in. Sophie to Kaylee. Kaylee getting it around their D, but not quite. It's hard to split those D. They're very good. And with a nice tap into center ice, but unfortunately Quad picked it up first. But Sophie's there along with Natalie. Can they clear the zone? No, not before Quad drives it in deeper to go for a change. Andrea just losing it behind the net. As Quad has it, but not without lots of pressure. Kaylee has it now. Nice stretch pass over to the other wall where Emma's going to put some pressure on. And Andrea keeping that in the neutral zone, but they do tap it back. That's Sophie in there trying to pin it while she waits for one of her teammates to come in and support. There's Ryan behind the net. She gets around the Quad player. We have a 3-on-2. She gets around their D, cutting in. That'll be goalie interference anyway, so she has to get up. Yep. Now we're good. Isla and Gwyneth over on the boards. Good rush there. Now can we set something up? They tried. Got just past Paige there at the blue line. She's going to send it over to Noelle. Sends it up to wards Isla, but the quad gets it. All right, lots of turnovers, so I'm not saying anything. Okay, what we have is Paige there at the corner. She sends it in behind the net to Noelle. Over to Isla. Chipping it forward to Ryan, but quad picks it up. That's Bria Tavares again in the neutral zone. You can see it's such a smooth skater. Noelle over to Paige. Can she see? Yeah, she sees Ryan. Ryan has a bit of a rush. Not without pressure. She offloads it, but quad would not let that puck get to the net. Quad with it in the neutral zone. They skate it into our end. They send it to the other side, trying to buy some time. Grace is skating it out. She keeps it at the boards as Molly and Brooklyn are to her left. Can she get it out into open ice? This time quad has it. We have a one-on-one. Here over on that side, supported by Molly and Grace. Shot goes wide. She goes to the other side where Brooklyn was. Isla going for a skate. As the forwards go for a change, we have a D up behind the net of the offensive zone and picking it up there in that corner. She taps it around. Can she pick it up? Molly's there. Sophie sending it open. Tapped out by quad, but it's still on her stick. She takes it in low for M to battle again as Kaylee and Natalie are joining her. Sophie driving in it deep as we go on side. Quad gets a chance to get to it first, but Natalie's going to put pressure on her. They have to go DD. And M and Kaylee are on both sides of her. So this time M's up there. Gets rimmed around. Hopefully we can put some pressure and we can keep it in this end. But their forwards came into the neutral zone, so our D had to retreat. And it allowed for them to bring it into our end. Oh, good chance at a one-timer, but they missed it. And quad puts it into our bench. There's no kids over here to run over to get that. Oh, I'm not connected to you. Would I go that far away? I could drop it into their bench. What? Yeah. Okay. All right, Ryan taking the face off against Kenny there. Will this fit here? There we go. Garbage. I sorted in the garbage. I should have just held on to it. I rolled it in and went right in the garbage can. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. All right, Ryan with a good rush again. And the goalie saves it. I mean, the garbage is empty. Look, they're digging it out. There's Peter. He'll say it's not basketball. All right, 43 seconds left. Hi, I could have used you to get that puck.
What puck?
There was a puck that came into the bench, and I rolled it in the crack, and it rolled right into the garbage can. But your dad got it.
We were trying to sit there so we could get a puck.
Oh, it came right over there.
Just go over the bench.
They were. Yeah, I could have, but they were in the middle of the play. Anyway, it was funny. 20 seconds left. Battle at the boards. Freeze into the neutral zone. Kira's got it. She taps it forward. Not before Quad gets it. She was hoping Gwyneth would get it first.
5 seconds.
6-5. Kira, keep it
3.
away.
And it'll end
Because at this point,
0-0.
we're not going to, 0-0 game. Woo, baby.